White snakeroot. The name sounds dangerous, and so is the plant. Although very beautiful and appealing, you should avoid the white snakeroot, as its leaves and stems contain a toxic compound called tremetol, which can cause tremors, weakness, and severe vomiting. In fact, if you're not careful, ingesting this plant can kill you. Water hemlock, also known as cicuta. The water hemlock's root, stem, and leaves contain a deadly toxin called cicutoxin. No matter how little of it gets into your body, the result is undoubtedly going to be horrifying. Seizures, difficulty breathing, and violent convulsions are the least to happen. And the worst? Death. Monkshood, the bluish-purple deadly beauty. It's also known as wolfsbane or devil's helmet and is best admired from a distance. Monkshood is highly poisonous as all its parts, especially the beautiful flowers, contain a neurotoxin called aconitine, which is capable of completely paralyzing you in minutes if you mistakenly eat it. Rhododendron, a globally adopted plant that best fits into the garden rather than for human consumption. The plant contains cyanotoxins, a deadly substance that can lead to a range of effects, including dizziness and nausea. But that's not all. If you're unlucky, the poison from this plant can affect the functionality of your heart. Oleander. Oleander is a beauty to behold, but underneath its beauty is a deadly plant that can even lead to death. The white, pink, and red flowers are so alluring that they make every garden pop. But if you mistake its beauty for being edible, you may have to deal with excess vomiting, irregular heartbeats, and maybe even more fatal outcomes. Rosary Pea Seeds. These are small, colorful, but deadly seeds that contain a very toxic substance called abrin. The dangerous thing with these seeds is that you do not even have to swallow them before they wreak havoc on you. Having skin contact with them is enough to poison you and even kill you. Castor Oil Plant. You better not be fooled by its name, thinking it's another household cooking oil. This plant contains a toxin called ricin, which can twitch and twist your intestines vehemently and even cause kidney and liver failure. If you must use this plant at all, then let it remain in the garden. Nothing else aside from that. Angel's Trumpet, a deadly ornamental plant with a lovely name. It has trumpet-shaped flowers which do not make any sound. Even if they do, there'll be sounds of pain and distress from the effect of their toxic substances. They contain poisonous stuff like scopolamine, hypocyamin, and atropine, which can cause hallucinations and dilated pupils, or worse still, coma and death. Sago Palm. There is almost no difference between this tree and the regular palm tree, but they are wide apart in what they offer. Every part of the sago palm is toxic, but the nuts are the most poisonous part. They contain cycasin, a harmful substance that can damage the kidney and eventually lead to the death of anyone who takes it. Foxglove, a beautiful that should never find its way into the body system. I know the nectars of some of the flowers are tasty, but don't try tasting this one. Except if you want to suffer low blood pressure and a heart attack. It contains potent cardiac glycosides that should not be ingested. Dumbcane. This one tops the list of highly deadly plants. If possible, do not have any form of contact with it. Although it is known for adding beauty to interior decor, the leaves of the Dumbcane contain calcium oxalate crystals, which can cause paralysis of the mouth, tongue, and throat. It can even make you lose your voice, as well as your vision. Deadly Nightshade. As the name implies, it is a deadly plant that covers its toxicity with attractive, shiny blackberries with purple flowers. Don't be deceived. The only way you can take this plant and be fine is if you take a medicine that has it as a component. Feeding on it directly can cause you dry mouth, convulsion, and paralysis, as it contains poisonous alkaloids. Manchineel. Talk about the deadliest tree in the world? This tree has earned that title. Every single part of this tree can cause you havoc. Some people even refer to it as the little apple of death. Its sap contains a poisonous toxin called phorbol. You dare not stand under this tree during rainfall. The water drops can cause serious blistering and burns on your skin. And if you dare eat the fruit, then you have serious pain and swelling of your body parts to deal with. Doll's eyes, an enchanting plant that got its name from its appearance. Its white berries look like the round eyeballs with a black dot in the center. Sounds adorable, but only to the eyes and nothing beyond that. Its berries contain actine and simicifugen, cardiogenic toxins that can give you cardiac arrest. You know that's close to killing you, right? So stay away. Stinging brush, also known as stinging nettle. It has unique hairs on its leaves that release toxic chemicals on contact. Disclaimer: do not touch this plant, as it contains histamines, acetylcholine, and other chemicals that can cause inflammation and damage your skin. Upon contact, you will immediately feel a burning sensation. followed by redness and severe itching. You may want to be on rubber gloves around this plant. Easter lily. Safe for butterflies in the garden, but harmful to humans in the kitchen. This plant is mostly seen in gardens as its large, white, trumpet-shaped flowers give a pleasant smell and are alluring to the eyes. However, do not make the mistake of eating any part of this plant, because it can damage your kidney. Or, on a lighter note, you may become dizzy and suddenly collapse. Giant hogweed. This plant is not common in residential areas, but if you ever decide to go into the wild for some hunting, focus on the hunt and avoid the giant hogweed. Having contact with it alone can cause blistering on your skin, and eating it does worse things to you. If you spot it anywhere, make sure you cover yourself from top to toe. Gympie. This one can be found in the rainforests of Australia. It has a very innocent look, but will not mind ripping your skin apart with its painful sting. It is covered in tiny hairs like needles, which contain toxins that can burn up your skin on contact. The pain from this toxin is excruciating, and if you get affected, please go and seek professional medical help. Tansy. This plant can either be your friend or foe. It is used in some cases for medical purposes as a traditional herbal remedy for digestive issues, but I'm sure you know it must have been combined with other stuff. You do not want to take it in its raw state, as you will be inviting severe uterine contractions, because the toxic thujone compound it contains will not let you go. Larkspur. This dangerous beauty comes in different shades of blue and purple to pink, white, and yellow. They are mainly ornamental plants that should only be used to deck your garden and not to satisfy your tasty cravings. They contain delphinine, an alkaloid that can weaken your muscles and destabilize your entire nervous system. Chinaberry Tree. This plant is an embodiment of toxicity. Every single part of it can cause you trouble. It is mostly grown in Asia, so avoid it when next you go on tourism. It contains toxic compounds like meliotoxins and azadirachtin, which can hit you with severe vomiting, diarrhea, difficulty breathing, or even paralyze you. Dieffenbachia, a tropical plant that is appealing but yet deadly. You are allowed to feed on it with your eyes, but never with your mouth, unless you wouldn't mind being admitted to the hospital. This plant contains oxalate crystals that can paralyze your mouth, tongue, and your vocal cords. Imagine eating poison and not even being able to voice out your pain. You could die, you know. Yew. This tree is most popular for its wood, as it makes one of the most durable woods in the world of furniture making. So feel free to tell your interior decor company to use yew for your furniture. However, never try to eat any part of the yew tree, as you'll be inviting hazards to your health. It contains taxin, a compound that can take a huge toll on your health. Suicide tree. Judging by the name, you should already know this plant is out of bounds. Read that again in bold capital letters. It is popularly known as Cerebra odolum and is one of the most poisonous plants in Asia. This tree contains a high level of cardiac glycosides, which are capable of damaging your heart and other internal organs. This plant has death written all over it, so do well to avoid it.